Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 6 math. You can find all the list. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6. Click on view all lessons. So there you can find the list of the chapter. We need to start with the chapter multiply and divide decimals. And the lessons we're going to cover today are estimate products of decimal numbers, multiply decimals, inequalities with decimal multiplications, divide decimals by whole numbers. So here I'm on grade 6 math, and the chapter we are on right now is and divide decimals. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is estimate products of decimal numbers. Let's just start with the first lesson. Estimate the product, round each number to its greatest place value and then multiply. So you have to round off each number to the greatest place value. Here the greatest place value is 9. 9 is at the 10th position. So you need to round off 94 to the nearest 10, and then you have to round off the other number 4.57 to the decimal, right? So 94 is rounded off to 90. 94 is rounded off to 90. What's wrong with the pen? Why it is not writing? I don't know what's wrong with this pen. Hmm. 94 is rounded off to 90 and 4.517 is rounded off to 5 because the very first point number that right after the decimal is 5, so you have to round off it to 5. So 90 times 5 is 450. So the correct option is 450. We can make lines but cannot write. What's wrong with the pen? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Estimate the product, round each number to its greatest place value, then multiply. You have to do 78 times 10.5. So you have to round off both the numbers to the greatest place value. So 78 times 10.5. So 78 is rounded off to 80, right? And then you have 10.5, the very first decimal 5. 5 is equal to 5. You need to round up. It would be rounded off to 11. And 11 times 80 is 11 times 8 is 88. You need to add a 0, so that is 880. So the correct option is 880. Got it? correct option is 880. That is option number. Oh, how 880? That means they rounded off 10.5 to 10. So then that would be 800. That's the only thing. Yes. So you can round up or round down round. So they rounded up off to round down. So that would be 10 and 10 times 8 is 80. So that is 800. Okay, the next one is 3857 times 5. 3857 times 5.42. You have to round to the greatest place value. The greatest place value is 1000. Just look at the very next digit, that is 8, right? So 8 is greater than 5. You need to round up. So 3857 is rounded off to 4000. Here you have 5. And after the decimal point, you have 4. That means that is less than 5. 4 is less than 5. So you need to round on the same decimal. So 5 times 4 is 20. And you need to add these three zeros. So that is 20,000. The correct option is 20,000. Got it? The correct option is 20,000. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, 10.27 times 8,566. Okay, let's just look at this number first. After the decimal, you have 2. 2 is less than 5, so you need to round on the same decimal. Here you have 8. After the 8, you have 5. 5 is equal to 5. You need to round up. 8,556 is rounded off to 9,000. 9 times 1 is 9. You need to add these 4 zeros, 3 here and 1 here. That is 90,000. So the correct option is 90,000. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, now you can do the next one. 8.59 times 29, so which is the correct option? 8.59 is rounded off to 9 and 29 is rounded off to 30. So the correct option is 270. Number. The next one is estimate the product 10.9 times 70. So which is the correct option? The correct option 700. Option number 1 is the correct option. How 800? 10.9 is rounded off to 10. And 70 is already 70. It is already rounded at 10. The 700. Estimate the product 9.957 times 59. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 59 is rounded off to 60. And 60 times 10 is 600. That is 600. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is multiply decimals. Okay, the first one is 2.9 times 7.4. So multiply them like you do the whole numbers. Multiply them without decimal, right? Just do 29 times 74. So when you do 29 times 74, that is 2146. You have to see in both the digits. For the first one, you have decimal point after one digit. And for the second one, you have decimal point after two digit. So that means you have two decimal places compared to 21.46. Option is 21.46. So when you multiply the decimals, multiply them like whole numbers and put the decimal point at the end. Let's just start with the test questions. Six times 3.8. Okay, let's just multiply. 8.6 times 3.8. Let's just multiply without decimal, right? As they are 86 and 38. 8 times 6 is 48, 8 4 carry. 8 times 8 is 64 and 4 68. Now let's just multiply 3. 3 times 6 is 18, 8 1 carry. 3 times 8 is 24 and 125. Just add them 8, 8 8 16, 6 1, 6 and 1 7 and 5 12, 2 1 and 2 and 1 3. So for in the first digit you have one decimal place, in the second one you have one decimal place, right? So collectively we have two decimal places. So you need to move decimal point two places left. So it would be then 32.68. Look, multiplying decimals is this easy. The correct option is 32.68. Okay, let's just start with the next example. With the next example, 32.68 is the correct option. The next one is multiply 0.3 times 8.6. So let's just do 0.3 times 8.6. 3 times 6 is 18, 8, 1 carry. 3 times 8 is 24 and 125. So one decimal place here and one decimal place here. So collectively they have two decimal places. So you need to move decimal point from here to here. That would be 2.58. The correct option is 2.58. Got it? The correct option is 2.58. Option number 1 is the correct option. Now next one you can do on your own. That is 2.8 times 9.7. Just multiply and write the answer in the chat box. Two point eight times 9.7. That is 27.16. Option number 2 is the correct option. Do not guess the answers, please. That is 27.16. Use your notebook and pencil. The next one is 4.5 times 6.5. So which is the correct option? The correct option is you can see now 4.5 times 6.5. That is 29.25 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. The next one is 1.4 times 0.6. So which is the correct option? which is the correct option? That is 0.84. Zero point 0.6 times 0.8, which is the correct option? That is 0.48. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to the next one. The next lesson is inequalities with decimal multiplication. Okay, the first one is 3 times 4.8. You have to compare it to 11, right? So you need to multiply 3 times 4.8 and then you have to compare it to 11. So when you multiply 3 times 4.8, that is 14.4, and 14.4 is obviously greater than 11, right? Let's just start with the test questions. You have to compare 18 to 4.0 times 5. So 4.0 times 5 is 20. So 18 is less than 20. The correct option is less it is. Got it? 5 times 4 is 20. So 18 is less than 20. The correct option is less. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is you have to compare 17 times 0.8 and you have to compare it to 14.1. So you have to calculate 17 times 0.8, and 17 times 0.8 is 8.5. So 8.5 is less than 14.1 or greater? That is less than, right? Because 17 times 0.8 is 13.6, and 13.6 is obviously less than 14.11. The correct option is less than. The next one is Okay, so 3 times 2.1 is 6.3. So 7 is greater than 6.3 or less? 7 is greater than 6.3. The correct option is greater. Option number 2 is the correct option. Two times 8.8, you have to compare it to 15. So 2 times 8 is 16, right? Then obviously 2 times 8.8 is greater than 15. The correct option is greater. - 5.08 is 4, right? And then both sides are exactly equal. The correct option is equal because 5 times 8 is 4. So the correct option is they both are exactly equal. The next one is 9.0 and you have to compare it to 3 times 5.8. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 14 is less than 5.8 times 3, right? 10.1 times 10.1, you have to compare it to 8 times 1.3. So which is the correct option? It's greater than 8.133. The correct option is greater. Okay, the next one is wrong. Yeah, that's 8 times 1.3. Okay, got it. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next example and the next lesson, and the next lesson is decimal divide decimals by whole number. So let's just see how do we divide the decimals by the whole numbers. 10.3 divided by 5. Multiply like you don't have any decimal point, right? The first one is 6,651.6 divided by 4. 651.6, you have to divide it by the 4. So just look at the first digit. 4 times 1 is 4 because 6 is greater than 4, right? 6 take away 4 is 2. Now you need to bring the next digit down, that is 5. You can go for 4 times 6, that is 24. You have 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. You need to bring the next digit down, that is 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. You have 3 here. You need to put a decimal point over here, right? Because now you are going to bring 6 down. So 4 times 9 is 36. So that is 162.9. The correct option is 162.9. That's why you guys don't know how to divide, because you guys always use the calculator. So you can use it's up to you, because I know how to divide. It's for you guys important to learn how to divide, not how to use calculator. Because in the school you are not allowed to use the calculator. Keep using the calculator. Sad. 61.88 divided by 4. So which is the correct option? No one is answering now why you are not using calculator. 61.88 divided by 4. The correct option is 15.47. The correct option is option number 3, that is 15.47. Okay, the next one is 296.22 divided by 3. So which is the correct option? Let's just divide. 296.22 divided by 3. The correct option is 98.74. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 98.74. The next one is 693.3 divided by 3. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 231.1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. The next one is 18.9 divided by 2, which is the correct option. That is 9.45. Option number 2 is the correct option. Very good. The next one is 90.84 divided by 2, which is the correct option. Yes, that is 45.42 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 6 math. The chapter we were working on is multiply and divide decimals, and the lessons we have covered today are estimate products of decimal numbers, multiply decimals, inequalities with decimal multiplication, and divide decimals by whole numbers. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So that's all for today. If you have any questions related to the lessons we have just finished, you can please ask questions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.